President, founder of the Doral Chamber of Commerce. I want to welcome you to Miami's Community Newspapers, an amazing publication with amazing people, amazing family. Today's guest is Liudmila Esquerdo from U.S. Century Bank. And I asked Liudmila to come by because U.S. Century Bank is one of the best banks in Doral, actually the only bank based in Doral. Right. People are surprised about that. Oh, no, but you've got branches of this one and that one. Well, but you guys are headquartered in Doral, and you guys have been members forever with us. I'm so grateful. And thank you for accepting my last-minute invitation to come on the show. There's a lot of discussions. One of the reasons I wanted to bring you on is because of everything that's going on financially and a lot of information that businesses need. And I know you and Carlos and the rest of the staff provide some great feedback and some great support for the community. So can you please, welcome.
Thank you.
And can you please tell us a little bit about U.S. Century Bank and how the bank got started, and what are the future plans for Doral and what you've done for the community? You're always involved in community with, I know we've done backpack drives with you, and we've done toy drives, and with the PPP, you guys were very influential in helping the community. You were one of the banks that we referred clients to, business owners to. So tell us about U.S. Century Bank.
Sure. So we are, like Manny said, we are headquartered in Doral. We are the only bank headquartered in Doral. I am the SBA Director for the bank, and we started the division about 2 years ago. And our main goal was to really provide capital to small businesses. We know that Doral, there's a bunch of small businesses that needed direction, that needed the working capital, that needed certain types of financing options that were not available prior to U.S. Century entering the space. So it's been a huge opportunity and a blessing to serve our community in that way. With PPP, during the first round, we were able to do 1,600 loans, about $109 million.
Wow.
Yes, that's huge. And we were able to maintain 17,000 people in their jobs. So
wow.
Yeah,
wow.
For us, that's just success all around, and being able to serve in that way. This round, we're up to close to 600 files, and we've saved about 5,500 jobs so far.
Wow, that is awesome. Well, by the way, there's about 12,000 businesses in Doral and the surrounding areas, many, many, many more. What was the impact of our friend, the C word? We don't like to mention the C word around here, but what was the impact to businesses? What have you seen? Have you seen a lot of closures, people surviving? I know I'm very happy. Yesterday we were discussing Carmen and our VP and myself about how fortunate we are to be in this state. Absolutely. Because we seem to have a much, much better economy than any other state. And I think we've done things right. And I think our governor has done things right. So what's been the impact that you've seen after the C word?
Well, Manny, a lot of banks have kind of shied away from providing finances to the small businesses in our communities. Mm-hmm. Yep. We've done the opposite. And as a matter of fact, we were the only bank in South Florida to be designated preferred lenders last year.
What's that mean, preferred lender?
Preferred lenders basically means that we collect all of the information, we package the loans, we underwrite and approve the loans in-house.
Wow.
We don't have to send the files out to the SBA for approval. So that's been a huge advantage for us as a community bank. And we've been able to assist hundreds of businesses in that way. And so for us, the C word has been just an opportunity for us to kind of get more involved and help and see how we can assist the community that we serve.
Well, and you do. One of our philosophies at the chamber is to make ourselves accessible. I don't know if you know that I have a book, so I'll give you a copy if you don't. But Marketing Magic, the number one thing in here is excellent customer service. Is the first tip in this book, and it's so lacking right now. We have found it lacking, especially in the medical field. We don't see the personalized service in banks and other businesses. We have, I believe, about 8 banks that we refer, and they all seem to have the philosophy in Doral, at least in the branches in Doral, that the community comes first. and you guys are that definitely. So you seem to follow our philosophy of being personalized on you and Carlos and Martha and all the great staff that you have. So I want to thank you for that, because I really and I want to tell you kudos to that, because that's really what's going to continue to build U.S. Century Bank. You guys have been very successful, and we've seen the growth.
We take pride in that union, that unity, right, with the community. I think that's really what differentiates our perspective to the other banks in this community, is that we really take pride in helping. And it's not just providing financing options, which is truly important, but also providing tools and giving feedback and,
Yes.
Providing knowledge and education
Mhm.
to our small business owners so that they know how to be well prepared when they're ready to take that step of, buying their first commercial real estate property, or, buying equipment, or obtaining working capital. As you know, we've held many educational webinars
Mhm.
to help the community learn more about the programs that we offer.
Great. We need to do more. Hopefully, when we get after the C word, when we get past the C word, we can do more. One of the things that it's hard for some businesses to understand what a chamber does, especially nowadays. People think that our chamber is dormant. We're not dormant, but we pivoted to being more digital for now, until we can get back. We were talking to IKEA yesterday. We used to do some amazing speed networking events with 100 people.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're doing speed networking online. As a matter of fact, the next one is March 30th. And the topic is Women of Miami. It's a speed networking event with an very interesting platform. So we had to pivot to go digital. But what happens is businesses, specifically a lot of the banks, don't realize the importance of it's amazing, but the importance of being in the community, getting involved in the community, and giving support to the community. You guys are completely different. From day one, I think from 2009, 2010. When did you guys start? 2000?
So our management team stepped in about 6 years ago, and they've really done an amazing job in really shifting, right?
Yes.
Our bank's perspective and serving, as you're mentioning. Mm-hmm. So about 6 years ago is when we became very active.
We took that. We called you, Carlos. We called several of the other community banks, not community banks. You are really the only community bank. But we called some of the other banks that we have with not headquarters, but with branches in Doral. Mm-hmm. And we got cell phone numbers, and we said, "Are you willing to help? Can we refer people to you?" I know for PPP you have to have most banks required it. I think all banks required it, that you have an account. So you help people get through that process of opening an account and then processing the PPP. And that's really where I'm so grateful for you, for U.S. Century Bank. Always, we've had some great events there pre-C word. And I think we're going to continue to have a great relationship and helping the community together. I'm from the bottom of my heart, I'm really grateful for U.S. Century Bank and what you've done, and you have stepped in so much, so personalized. I appreciate that. Carlos Leon.
Absolutely, he's wonderful.
Yeah. Great
we
people.
have a great team, honestly.
Yeah. So where are we in the future here? What's going on with the CARES Act? All that money that was thrown out there, is that going to get to us? Is that going to get to the community? Is that going through you, or how's the CARES Act money, that what was it, $1.9 trillion? Okay, I hope I get a piece of that. Okay.
So, there's a number of different programs that are happening as we speak, right? Some of the enhancements that the SBA has rolled out includes completely waiving the guarantee fee. And I don't know if you're aware, but when you go through an SBA 7A loan, there is an SBA guarantee fee that goes directly to the government.
Wow.
And so this fee can be anywhere from 3 to 3 and 3.5 points of your loan size. So
and who pays for that?
The borrower pays for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that fee is going to be is now completely waived. Aside from that, through the CARES Act, the SBA has given small business owners 6 months of principal and interest payments. So for the last 6 months, they've had the advantage of not having to pay that amount, right? And so the SBA has been covering that for the small business owners for 6 months. So that's been huge for them to be able to keep their employees on payroll to be able to maintain the business open, right? And to be able to continue to work towards expansion efforts. So
Right.
we've seen some of that as well during
Wait.
this period.
So the fee waiver, that's not on PPP, that's on the SBA 7.
That's on this, yeah, that's under the SBA 7A program. So PPP falls under the SBA 7A umbrella.
Okay.
So if you hear about eligibility and certain affiliation and certain criteria that the SBA talks about, those all fall under the SBA 7A program.
Great. So what's the status on the PPP right now? Is it going to end on the 31st, you think, or is?
So there has been a proposal to extend the program through the end of May, and that's pending Senate approval. We expect to hear more about that this week.
Great. And what happens if it ends? Do we really need more time? It's been,
so there's
been out for 2 months, right?
Half of the proceeds are still available for PPP funding. I think there was a lot of small businesses that didn't get around to applying the first round, and so now they're opening up on the second round to allow other businesses to apply that were not able to do so in the first time round.
Great. What do you see? One of the topics here we were supposed to discuss here is the EIDL or EIDL. People were thinking that they were going to get to $10,000 and they had 2 employees, only got 2,000. What's the status on the EIDL?
So they've just also reopened that program. It's a disaster program for the SBA. And so the way that a borrower can apply for that EIDL program is directly with the Small Business Administration. That's not handled through the banks. So that's directly with between the borrower and the administration. Right now, through the EIDL program, instead of borrowers having to start making payments within 12 months, they've extended that now to 24 months. So their first payment will not be due until 24 months from the day that they obtained that EIDL loan.
I see. Wow.
So that's another way that the SBA is kind of allowing capital to stay in the small business owner's pocket for an extended period of time.
Wow, great. These are great topics. I always want to bring great topics that are practical to our viewers here. And by the way, once again, I want to thank Miami's Community Newspaper for doing this. We got Tommy directing the show here. Carmen Lopez, our VP, is the only person in the audience except Tommy. Hi, Carmen. So, and by the way, thanks again for coming last minute and showing up here. What do you see? What can a small business owner do? We've talked financing, we've talked business. I encourage everyone to call or come and are you guys open? The branches open, or what's
branches
happening?
are open.
Branches are open. Okay. You need to have a personal relationship. That has been so important to us always. And like I said, that's one of the things I discuss here. Everyone has my cell phone number. And by the way, I've heard something that's really interesting, that if you give everyone your cell phone number, no one calls you because they feel that they can reach you at any time. It's really interesting and it's really true. But build a personalized relationships. And like I said, U.S. Century Bank is an example of that. Do you have any tips, any ideas for small business owners? Should they be anything you've seen some of your clients do that have helped them get through this?
I think this is a time that has allowed everything outside the box. And I've really seen many of my customers reinvent themselves. Times like these force you to kind of say, okay, how can we do things differently and still be equally successful, or if not more successful? And we've actually seen this work for folks. So, just revisiting your business plan, revisiting your business model has been important for small business at this time, not only to survive, but to thrive. And I've seen many of our guys, our lenders, our business development officers, our clients kind of sit down with us and revisit those plans. And it's really worked out well.
But you guys have been, I don't want to say the innovators, because you've been doing it ever since I've known you, but you guys have been able to maintain. I've seen so many businesses use the C word as an excuse for providing less than adequate customer service, and which I believe, and like I said, it's in my book, it's the number one thing that in this era of digital marketing, the number one thing that's really going to differentiate your business is great customer service. And you guys have done that. You have not used the C word as an excuse. I hear that so much. Oh no. And you hear it on the phone, right? Oh, due to the C word, we are unable to answer your call, and we'll get back to you in 4 days. Okay. Yeah. I need an answer now. How have you guys been able to maintain, I guess is that culture? Where does that come from in U.S. Century Bank?
I think it definitely is culture. I mean, again, the perseverance of our team is, I've never seen it. It's bar none, excellent. So I'll tell you, for us, this whole period has been an opportunity. Okay. A lot of banks don't know how to look at financials and consider projections. Consider, okay, how is this business shifting? What are they doing differently? We've had a number of deals where obviously the cash flow did not work for 2019 to 2020. So, okay, what's your shift? What are you going to do differently to improve your cash flow, your profitability? What are you going to do to, hire your staff? And so we sit down with these clients and we help them kind of plan this out, right? And a lot of banks will not take the time to do that. Resources, of course, all of our resources right now are everyone has rolled up their sleeves to be on PPP mode, on forgiveness mode. But during this time, we haven't forgotten what we're in business for, which is really to provide capital to our business, small business. And
you do that with a smile, which is great. So it really, I'm a very passionate person, and that's the way that we run, Carmen and myself, and that's the way we run the chamber, and that's the way you guys seem to run your business, and it really makes a difference. You really need to build a relationship with your bank. U.S. Century Bank has really gone out of their way, always with the community. We've done so many things other than events in your great penthouse up there that you have. A great view of the airport that you have. We've done many informational events, which is one of the best ways to market yourself, and we hope to get back to that on a physical level. And the pivoting has been great.
I think one thing that's huge, Manny, is our philosophy. Yeah. Yes, we are in business to make money, but we are also in business to equip our clients and our customers to be successful.
But you're an example. Yeah. See, you're an example. People want to use this as an excuse, but you're an example of what you can do, and that's what differentiates. Yes, of course. By the way, we've been checked, and I already had COVID in December, so I'm good. And we have this plexiglass. Excuse me. I see a lot of businesses that don't want to pivot, and then they use it as an excuse. And those that pivot, and one of the first things that we did is we looked at our financials, and we went through our bank statements, and we said, okay, we're spending money on this, but money's not coming in. We looked at that and said, okay, let's cut costs. Let's be effective and efficient. Let's go ahead and pivot. And we did that. We changed around, and we're still changing around. We have a new packages that are coming out of the platinum and trustee level. You guys have always been trustees. Thank you. God bless you for that. People don't understand sometimes that the chamber is for the community. We are here for the community, not for ourselves. Okay. But the way to do that, we're membership based. We get a lot of people that come to us and say, oh, why don't we work together and we'll pay you a commission? We don't like taking commissions on anything, because that's our responsibility as a chamber, is to bring business to you. So we focus on the personalized, and we focused on the digital. We did the pivot, and now we become more digital for now. So one of the things that we do for you, and I'm always calling you, right? Or Carlos, send me an ad. You have a promo, because we're sending out daily emails to 39,000 plus with your promotions, our chamber member promotions and events that we have going on. We pivoted. You need to pivot. How has U.S. Century Bank, other than you were able to survive, and I believe it looks like you guys are thriving, which makes me very happy. I'll get your membership renewal next year, Rick. What other tips and what have you guys done? I mean, your CEO is Luis. What's his name? Luis de la Aguilera. Luis de la Aguilera. He was one of our speakers when you. Amazing leader. Wonderful, nice person. Doesn't look like a CEO. He looks like a big brother.
He's wonderful. He's been very supportive of all of these projects. As a matter of fact, our board as a whole has been extremely supportive in making sure that we provide this assistance and continue to do so. So we're very blessed to have this executive team supporting, these projects.
So where's the future of U.S. Century Bank?
So we have a very strong team. We continue to just reanalyze how we can improve our services, how we can better serve. And I think you'll see that we're actually revamping our website. And you'll see a lot of our new philosophies and our shifts on our new website soon. So
good, awesome,
stay tuned.
Awesome. We're almost done here with our interview, but one of the things that Michael Miller loves to do, especially when he interviews, and every time I still get shivers when he asks this question. Obviously, you are a very successful person, and in light of Women's History Month, obviously you're a very successful woman. Michael likes you to look into the camera and tell the little girls growing up right now, give them a word of advice, motivation, tell them what they should do and for their future.
I love that.
That's Michael, not me.
Thank you, Michael.
And I like that philosophy. I love it so much. I like to pass it on. He's smiling back there. He likes that.
So for me, I would say, for the girls, and I have a 21-year-old daughter. So for me is, follow your passion. Don't stop dreaming. I think that as we grow older and we reach the real world, we kind of forget of, where our passion lies, and to me, that's always been helping others. I not only am I passionate about small business lending, but I am also very passionate about, other types of charity contributions, feeding the homeless, Aplastic Anemia Foundation. So I think that aside from always, following your passion and reaching your dreams, is also continue to help others that are less fortunate.
So talk to that little girl, little boy. Tell them directly into their eyes right now.
Remember to follow your dreams, follow your passion, but don't ever forget to help those that are less fortunate.
I love that.
Gratitude is so important.
I love it. I love it. So this has been a great interview with Liudmila Esquerdo from U.S. Century Bank. I want to thank Miami's community newspapers for continuing to do so much for the community. You really need to look into that. This is great because Michael and Grant follow the same philosophy we do, which is they don't sell you anything. But I'll tell you what, if you need to market your business, hopefully you guys can come on board with you. I think it was over 12 publications, great distribution. He has followed digital marketing. Grant and Michael and the family have followed what you need to be doing right now, which is going digital and the distribution. This show is an amazing idea. You need to be on this show. My name is Manny Sarmiento. I'm the president, CEO, co-founder, along with Carmen Lopez, of the Doral Chamber of Commerce. I want to thank Michael. I want to thank Lou. I want to thank Carlos, the entire U.S. Century staff, management, and Carmen, our VP. She's sitting back there sharing our presentation. You have my number. It's on doralchamber.org. You can call me anytime on my cell phone, 305-546-3301. You can call me or write to me, Manny@doralchamber.com. And I believe if you don't have the information online on the screen, you can call me or text me or email me, and I will send you the information for U.S. Century Bank. But you can go to U.S. Century Bank, uscentury.com, right?
Yep. Small business lending, and you'll have all of our information.
Fantastic. I encourage you to build a relationship with U.S. Century Bank. Thank you, everyone. God bless you. Have an amazing